you guys, because we've got some courses coming up in June here in the UK. And I thought, you know what, let me talk about the courses and I'll talk about my actual story as well, becoming an access consciousness practitioner. So this started for me a couple of years ago, and I was with some friends and we were doing oracle cards and things like that. I think I was getting a tarot reading from a friend, and she said to me, "You've got a block against being successful. You need to run your bars." And I didn't know what she was talking about, and at the time I didn't realise she actually was an access bars practitioner. So I just kind of went on my way, and then about 2 weeks later or so, I was at a Mind Body Spirit event in Yorkshire in the north of England, and the lady next to me was an access bars practitioner. And I looked at her and I thought, that is insane. That is absolutely crazy, because, you know, the synchronicity on that. And I even said to Pat, the organizer, "You're definitely psychic, because I've literally been waiting to have my bars run." So Maureen at Joyous Living was there, and she was doing taster treatments for 20 to 30 minutes for about £20–25. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it. It's right next to my stall. And at the time I was there with my husband, and he didn't want me to go off and, you know, go to a talk or go off and enjoy myself in any way, because he didn't want to be left alone with my stall, which at the time was a really big crystals and card stall. So that was probably a bit overwhelming. And I said to him, "You know what, she's just next door. Please, can I just have this 20 minutes? I'll be right there. You know, just let me have this one thing." And I was, even though I was trading at Big Mind Body Spirit event, it had taken me years to get to that point. And like 5 years earlier, I'd said to my sister, "Wow, wouldn't it be amazing to have a stall at a big event like that?" And it took me 5 years to book in. And I think when I was there at this particular event in Pudsey near Leeds in Yorkshire, I'd probably only been doing, you know, markets like that for maybe a year, if that. So I was still kind of holding a lot of fear in the body, a lot of anxiety. You know, I wanted to be successful, but wasn't really sure what that would look like for me or how I could do that with my family dynamic and all that kind of stuff at the time. So I lay down with Maureen, and she basically just asked me to just have an open mind, to be open to possibilities. And I thought, okay, that sounds a bit weird. But I lay down, not really sure what it was, whether it was like Reiki or anything at all. And it's kind of the opposite of Reiki. It's the easiest way to explain it. So, hey there. So Maureen did the 32 points on my head. And I didn't realise what these 32 points on the head meant at the time. It was my very first experience with access consciousness and access bars, running the bars, we say. But what I did get was this pressure building here. There was this big pressure, and it was getting really intense. And I was thinking, God, this is getting really uncomfortable. And she just had, her fingertips were just there really gently. And then I felt this pressure release from my head, and I actually heard a sound internally go whoosh, like that, and it was gone, right? So, no, I haven't. I've got a Substack. And so I felt that release. What I didn't realise at the time, that was hopes and dreams. So that's the bars point for hopes and dreams. So once that big block had been released about, you know, me manifesting, me having my own crystal shop or doing whatever it was, once that block had been released, my life rapidly changed. And what happens on your spiritual journey, if you're not listening to the universe, it gets really shit, it gets really stuck. And I was working at the time full time, but I really wanted to manifest a crystal shop. And how old are you? That's an interesting one. And why are you on I don't know. Anyway, so I work with crystals, so I'm a lot older than I look. So I very, very quickly started to manifest. And after just one 20-minute access bar session, I actually manifested my mystical wellness studio, which was a lot bigger than I actually thought it was going to be. And then within 6 months, I trained to be an access bars practitioner. So in the UK, it's quite new. Not everybody knows about access bars. And hi Ruth, hi Emma, hi Jenny. Thanks for watching. Oh, thank you so much. I think that's just a compliment. No, I'm a lot older. And but I work with crystals and I work with access bars and access energetic facelift. So when you work with those kind of energies, it's releasing all the time, releasing blocks and limitations. So I'm 50 this year, but thank you so much. And yeah, so we've got these courses coming up that are in access body process. Yeah, me too. And access bars therapy, and that's here on the Wirral, where I am based in the UK, in the northwest of England. So I thought, you know what, I'll tell you a bit about my bar story. And just with that one treatment, I was able to completely change my life, completely able to manifest something that was so much bigger than I thought I was ever going to be able to have. And I had my mystical wellness studio, which had a crystal shop, a wellness shop, had a well-being room. We did loads of retreats there, we did evening groups and everything. And hi Emma, hi Jason, and oh hi Selena, oh hi guys. So I'm just talking about my access bar story because we're teaching access bars and access body process in 2 weeks time here in the UK. And just off of one session with access bars, I completely changed my whole life, released loads of blocks and limitations, and thanks for that, it looks like a bunny. And yeah, so it was so dynamic, so amazing. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about body process and what that means. And it says here, access body classes are an invitation to more ease, more gentleness, more potency, and more fun with your body. So when was the last time you had fun with your body without any expectations, without any judgments? You're just able to release blocks and limitations from your body. So that's one of the things I do, is I work with access consciousness. So you'll always hear me saying things like, wow, what else is possible? Or how does it get any better than this? Or, you know, all of life comes to me with ease, joy and glory. So you'll hear me start to say the same things. Sometimes when we're on a podcast and there'll be somebody saying something quite controversial, you'll hear me put in the chat, that's an interesting point of view. And that's from access consciousness, because it's kind of saying, okay, I hear what you're saying, I acknowledge it, but I'm not accepting or rejecting it, right? So it's just, I'm just going to let it be there, because it might not be true to me, so I'm not taking it on board. And so yeah, so access body process classes are coming up, and the two that I've decided to go with for this course, I've got my friend Maureen coming, and she's from New Zealand, but she lives in the UK. She's facilitating because I'm only a practitioner. I can't teach the courses yet. So we work together. We actually do talks around the UK in Stockport together and stuff like that. And so we're doing cellular memory healing, and access body process cellular memory is about releasing, basically kind of on a DNA, on that cellular level, all that pain and trauma and judgment that you're holding in the body. And so we can go really, really deep down with gentle touch on the body. We just start to release that for you. So how does it get any better than that, right? So, and we're also doing unlimited. We're doing that limitless one. Let me find the wording for the limitless class. Limitless energy, limitless wealth, and limitless possibilities. I don't know about you guys, but I really need that right now. I really need that right now, because I get hit with targeting. So my finances get hit, my internet connection gets hit, which is why when I try to do live streams and podcasts, I get cut in and out all the time. I get loads of pain in the body when I try and sleep. Last night I was in between podcasts and I woke up and it felt like there was something weighing down my lower legs, as if somebody was sitting on me. It's how it felt, but there was nobody there. I was furious. I was absolutely furious. And I got all my rattles out and my crystals out, and I slept like, I haven't got it next to me, but I slept with like a big crystal wand. Like, how dare you? And like, I was getting all my rattles out and everything to cleanse the energy in my space. And I've got some really cool videos on my YouTube channel where I've had sessions with Sean Bond, and the latest one is Christy Clark. Oh, that is a great session. So Christy Clark channels his higher self, his galactic self, who's a creative being, Renturus Vela Anchorus, something like that. That was an amazing session to be able to talk directly to a creator being, and you know, and find out what's going on with you and stuff like that, and get confirmations on things. It was so good. So yeah, so that's what's going on. So on the 12th and 13th of June, we're running the Access Body Process class and the Access Bars Practitioner training. And the Access Body Process is actually 2 classes in the full day, so you learn 2 techniques. And the Bars class is a full day training where you get to give and receive Access Bars twice. The great thing about giving and receiving is it's an experience. You're not just doing a hands-on therapy. You get to have your opportunity to relax back, to allow all the judgments, all the limitations, all of that to just release from your body. And the Access Bars points, those 32 points on the head, govern all areas of your life. So we're talking money, control, creativity. We're talking, you know, kindness, gratitude, peace and calm, hopes and dreams, form and structure. We're talking about the actual body itself and what you believe the body can do for you. So these 32 points include manifesting and so much more. And the way I kind of think of it is your body's receiving energy and information all the time around you, all the time. And it's just absorbing it all, figuring out how to process it. Does this make sense? Is it your energy? So just behind your ears there is a bone, a ridge there. So if you feel that, you'll feel that ridge behind your ears, and you just put your fingertips on there right now. So gentle pressure. That's the implant band, and we ask the implant band to run, and as soon as you do that light touch, it'll start to release an electrical charge, which is all the information and energy that's not yours will start to release. Anything that's not in your highest alignment will start to release. So I run the implant band every day. I run the power band, which is right at the base of the skull, and I do that to get my energy moving up and down the body. But I also run on the top of my head, I run the aging toaster. And the aging toaster relates not just to your age programs, but it relates to everything you believe your body should be doing for you, and any limitations and judgments that you're having about your body. So there's so many programs running in the body where we think we should get older. We think, you know, my back, I should be getting arthritis now. I should be getting a bad back. Oh, I'm so old. You know, all those kind of programs that are running in the body, we can start to release them just by having your 2 hands here and doing that for say 5-10 minutes at night time when you go to bed, asking those bars to run, and it'll start to dissipate that electrical charge that's been keeping you stuck. So Access Consciousness is so awesome. So one of the other things we work with in Access Consciousness is the mantra, all of life comes to me with ease, joy and glory. And I can tell you now, when my life starts to go to shit, it's because I've forgotten to say my mantra and I've not been calling in the ease. Okay, so when you call in ease, it means everything is coming into you easily. It's bringing in the good stuff, it's bringing in the bad stuff, it's bringing it all in with ease. Anything that was on its way to you is going to come in with ease. So if it's stuff that's a bit more tricky and unwanted, it's also going to go out with ease, yeah? And only the stuff that's in your highest alignment is actually going to stick with you. So that's the good thing. And it brings in joy. So when we're receiving, and we're receiving things with ease, and we're thinking about limitless possibilities, your life becomes so much more joyful. And, you know, it becomes so much more joyful that you want to tell people about it. And that's where the glory comes in. We start to live in this high, glorious vibration where you just want to share it with everybody. And it's so cool. So we do that. We also work with the questions. Yeah, one of my favorite questions, which I use a lot actually, is who does this belong to? And who does this belong to applies to all of the thoughts that are running through your head right now. So if you said who does this belong to 10 times a day for 3 days, by the 4th day you would find that your mind is really calm, because a lot of those thoughts, feelings, emotions and judgments in your head right now are not even yours. And not even yours. It's collective energy. Just need to let it go. So we question it. Who does it belong to? And then it opens up that universal space and allows anything that's not yours to basically go back to where it came from, or to dissipate that electrical charge as well. Yeah, so Access Consciousness has got so many good tools in that toolkit. So I'm going to be with Maureen at Joyous Living on the 12th and 13th of June, and we will be training with the Access Body Process on one day and Access Bars Process on the 2nd day. And I'll be doing more training in October as well, so because there's over 60 body processes with Access Consciousness that we can basically activate within the body, so I can't wait to do that. All right, I'm going to have a drink. So I've been talking straight for 14 minutes. All right. So if you've got any questions, pop them in the comments. But I'm talking about access consciousness. You can ask me anything about crystals and stuff like that. I'm talking about what we've got going on up. I'm just going to get my schedule. So I do over 200 events a year. I work with Book When schedule to help me keep track of everything. And since I started recording my podcast this year, because I've been doing wellness groups online on Zoom 3 times a week for a really long time. And what I decided to do was to start to introduce guest speakers into my wellness group. And we record it on a closed Zoom. We don't live stream. So we record the podcast with a little studio audience, basically. And so this year I thought, you know what, let's start to invite people in. Let's start to bring in people who kind of fit under that mystical wellness banner. And I've had some amazing guest speakers come in this year. So on Monday coming up, I've got Shirley Ann Hay coming in, and she's part of the Inspiring Women program where I'm based. So she's going to be coming in with a lot of motivation and a lot of focus, because she's an entrepreneur who's literally taken herself from, say, maybe even a council estate in the UK, which is kind of like low-level housing, and she's risen her way up to now own so many properties and put that out there as affordable housing, you know, good quality housing, stuff like that. And she's got lots of different businesses, and she helps people stay inspired. So I can't wait to talk to her then. Wednesday, I'm not going to be recording my live podcast because I'm teaching laughter yoga. I'm a certified laughter yoga leader, but when I did the course, we got to learn about laughter Bollywood dance party. Because I did my training with the founders in India, but it was live on Zoom. So their 8 a.m. was like my 2 a.m. So I'm like, yay, like 2 a.m. in the morning. And but so I did laughter Bollywood dance party. So I've got special Bollywood music that we do dancing to. And then we do a yoga nidra relaxing meditation afterwards. So I do community groups with laughter yoga, and I also do that live on Zoom as well. But for a couple of months I just had one Austrian fella joining me called Thomas or something, and it was just me and him doing laughter yoga together, which was quite funny actually. So you can't help but laugh. It is absolutely hilarious. So I'm just looking what's going on my calendar. So this Monday, so tonight is the Akashic Record Vision Quest that I do every Saturday with my group. And the vision quest that we're doing tonight is I will guide you into your Akashic Record library. And we go in basically to use that cosmic library as a healing space. To use it as a space to kind of like, sometimes it's an armory. We go in to regroup, or other times we go into chambers to meet guides and guardians and higher self, or we go to revisit some shadows from the past and to turn them into strengths, into diamonds. So I do a lot of work in the Akashic Record Library, and that's where you'll see me working with the Akashic Oracle. I work with that all the time. So on Monday, when I'm on the Typical Skeptic podcast, which is 5 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. UK time, I will be doing Akashic readings. And I work mainly with the energy, so I'm not going to be telling you who you were 400 lifetimes ago, especially when we're just on like a fast reading session. But I can tell you what energies from the past are affecting your present, and I can work with my pendulum to clear them out. And I'll show you my pendulum. So I work with Asclepius. I love this guy. I've got quite a lot of pendulums. He was made in America by pendulumalchemy.com. And this one is especially designed for healing in the Akashic Records. So I work with quantum commands and with my pendulum and my Akashic Oracle cards to tune into your energy, see what's there, what's stagnant, what's limiting, what contracts and vows, or oaths, vows, contracts, agreements, even promises made that, you know, under that kind of pressure and threat of death and stuff like that become a vow in your energetic field. So one of the things I do is work to release those, or ask your Akashic guides, are we close to completion? You know, can we push this along, or can I just collapse and dissolve it right out? And I replace it with a success anchor, something really supportive to fill that space, to take that energy, transform it into something supportive. So if anybody wants an Akashic card, let me know. I'll pull a card right now. sometimes it's all a bit fluffy bunny with these, but there's other times when they represent the shadow as well. So there's guilt in there is trauma and wounding, there's lack and scarcity and all that kind of stuff, because these are the most common vows and things that we have made in the Akashic realm. So I'm just going to pull a collective card for anybody watching live or on the replay, if there's something that we need to know about. Here we go. Prostitution of self. Okay, so this is, I did a workshop recently when I was in Runcorn in Cheshire, and I had a group of like 25 people, and there was a gentleman who pulled this card, and I'm talking in the crowd. I do public speaking, I just channel everything, so I don't prepare anything, and I could see this man give me this weird look, like he's looking at his card, he's looking at me really weird, because he got prostitution of self. And this is the kind of card in the tarot people would be talking about. How are you spending your time, energy and money? You know, what are your boundaries like? Are you overextending yourself? But this card is also about reclaiming your power. So coming back strong and saying, hang on, I'm this, you know, I'm this sovereign being. I'm in charge. I say who, I say when, I say how much kind of energy. And so this poor gentleman got this card, and he's looking at me like I'm crazy. And then when I asked him about his life, yeah, it was absolutely applicable to his life, because he was being hexed by somebody was draining his energy and stuff like that. So when we get a card like this, we know it's definitely something that needs support, definitely something that needs healing, and I can help you do that. So prostitution of self, even though the word of the name of the card, it's a bit of a shocker when it comes out for you, but initially it's about how are you spending your energy. Yeah, who are you letting into your energetic field? What are they doing with your energy? You know, did you consent? Things like that. So, but this is an empowerment card, so the Akashic Oracle is really empowering. So if you'd like a card pull, let me know, just pop a comment in, and we'll see what pops up for you, what's going on with your energy field right now. And okay, here's another good one. We've got self-sabotage, and so some of the cards are really positive, elemental, grounding and stuff like that, and then other cards are letting us know that this self-sabotage programs and patterns could be from your past, present or parallel, that are affecting your daily life right now. So this card is like a multi-leveled card in a way, because what are you hiding from, or what are you not seeing? Yeah, this in a way, it could be, what are you not hearing? What are you know, or what are you like spending your time on? So self-sabotage is one of the most repeating patterns that comes up from people's Akashic record fields when we do healing. So it's an opportunity. So all of these cards are an opportunity to look at what's going on in your life. How are you self-sabotaging? So for me, it is procrastination, and it's Pepsi Max. Yeah, and when you see me with a cup, there's always Pepsi Max in there. It's always Pepsi Max, never anything else. And so like dopamine hits, that kind of thing. So when a card like this comes out, I know you're going to need some support anchor. And so let's see, what would be the support anchor for replacing self-sabotage in the Akashic field? So if you would like a card, please pop a comment in there. Oh no, we've got another. I'm just getting loads of light cards coming out. I think it must be the YouTube energy. Can I have a success anchor, please? Yeah, got it. Okay, it's vision, wisdom and mastery. Okay, so wisdom and mastery is another card that comes out for magical people more than regular people. But a lot of the people I do readings for are obviously magical people that kind of gel with my energy. So this one is a reminder that you hold all of the information, all of the training, whatever you need, you already did it. You know, we don't come into this life now to do lots of new training. We come into this life now to remember everything we did in the past. So this wisdom and mastery card coming out, it lets me know that you've already done all the training you need to do, so stop chasing courses. And that was a lesson that I had to learn the hard way as well. So, but wisdom and mastery coming out is very much about us stepping back into our power, moving into that inner stillness and listening to yourself and questioning everything. Yeah, so when I do Akashic readings, there's plenty of opportunities for lack and scarcity cards to come out. Vows of poverty are another one. I've been dealing with vows of poverty in my lifetime for 4,000 lifetimes so far. So I work with my own personal mentor who wrote these cards, Marina Beach, and we've gone back 4,000 lifetimes with my lack. All right. So any questions, let me know. I'm going to be signing off in a minute. I just wanted to come on and talk about the Access Consciousness courses that I've got coming up. And I know Access Consciousness is big in America because that's where it was founded, but it's actually practiced in over 100 countries all over the world. It's 1 day certified as well, which is amazing, and it's hands-on, so you don't have any separate case studies or anything like that. So, you know, what else is possible? If you can just do a course, turn up on the day, have a fantastic day of fun and relaxation, you're learning something new. At the end of the day, you're certified, you can go and get your insurance. Yeah, how does it get any better than that? So it really is crazy. I've got loads of cool things going on this week. I'm actually going to be running an event at Future Yard, which is a nightclub nearby. I'm running an event on there, and I'm not sure if I'm event manager or if I'm lighting tech, but I'm doing that as part of a course that I've just finished. And so it's kind of really weird. So sometimes on my Instagram or Facebook, you'll notice I've got like, it looks like I'm in a nightclub, but it's actually me working there doing light and sound tech stuff. So that's really cool. So I've got something coming up on Tuesday, but then after that, Tuesdays in June will be all about the meditation and the stress reduction course that I'm leading. And we're going to go on, because this is probably like the 4th time I've run this course. So this time we're going to be looking more into sound frequencies as well. And because when we were on the Typical Skeptic the other night, and there was a guest talking about binaural beats, wow, that really got my interest. So we're going to dig into that a little bit more on this course as well, and how these sound frequencies have an impact on the brain waves. So we're going to be looking a bit more into that, which is really exciting. Yeah, so I'm happy about that. Let me think what else is coming up. Well, we got the Violet Flame Reiki Mastery Program. So when I'm on podcast on Monday, I will be talking about Violet Flame energies. And I work as a Violet Flame guardian, as an anchor for the Violet Flame, working with Saint Germain, Lady Portia, and the Goddess Guan Yin, and Archangel Zadkiel and others. So I teach Violet Flame Reiki Mastery Program, and this is an advanced Reiki technique. We work with 40 sacred symbols, so symbol keys. I'm going to be teaching level 1 starting in June on Thursdays, and then July will be level 2, level 3 will be in August, and September will be the level 4 master teacher. So you can do the full 16-week program with me, and it's a lot more affordable if you do commit to the full 16 weeks. Plus we'll be doing live coaching every week on a Thursday, which is a great opportunity to do deep vision quest activations with me, to do energy upgrades, to just talk about what we're getting off these symbols. Because these symbols, I'll show you some of these symbols actually. I turn them into cards. Let's see. So these symbols might be reversed on screen. Yeah, it looks reversed to me. These are really powerful sacred symbols, and they are conscious keys. Conscious keys to upgrade your energy, to extract, unite, to heal, to purify, to open up to life's plan. We have got to heal joints and arthritis, but these days I see this as a pathway card, as a directional card. We've got water cleansing, elemental energies. We've got drawing down the light for depression and building people back up, which that's evolving into light language now. We've got amplified healing through divine intervention. And I've added loads of extra cards into mine, and we've got releasing pain to give strength. So there's so much that we can do with the Violet Flame Reiki. There's 40 symbols, you know, so we're working with fire and ice, we're working with transformation and alchemy, we're working with past life as well. So here it is, past life. As soon as I said it, it came out. We're working with the past life breakthrough. And so the course itself is not for people who've never done any kind of Reiki. This is a professional development kind of course. So then this is the reason why, because we're going into past life healing as well. These days I'll say that we're also going into parallel lives, because that's kind of where my work takes me more, is I know I've got parallel lives that need healing, and I'm tuning into me and tuning into different aspects of me, clones and things like that. So breaking through past life. We've got a lot of balancing, which is my main focus when I do my work. It's all about balance, yeah? So, and then water cleansing again. Sadhya, and spiritual healing. So Violet Flame Reiki is an advanced Reiki and spiritual healing course. That's a good way to explain it. but the fertility and rebirth. So the 16-week program is a full rebirth of your energies. And I've just completed a 16-week program with like 10 students. And wow, I'm definitely not the person I was 4 months ago. I've had a lot of upgrades in the last 16 weeks. My clarity is greatly improved. My guide connection has improved. I have had interactions with 2 light beings in the last 16 weeks and all this kind of weird shit. So yeah, so the Violet Flame Reiki Mastery Program is definitely one of rebirth. Now this symbol here, it might look reversed on the screen to you guys, but if you can get an idea of what this means, please drop it in the comments and let me know, because this is an unknown symbol. However, with a client recently, I actually picked up on something for this symbol. So the symbols from Violet Flame Reiki communicate with you. They're ancient keys. They hold information, they hold their own frequency, and they come to you literally as a work partner and communicate with you. So if you're watching this, drop it in the comments and let me know what you think this symbol could potentially mean. So it could be a healing or a clearing or whatever, but there's something about this symbol, and the energy's definitely changed since I worked with it, you know, last probably a few years ago. But the great thing about my course is that the students add so much when they work with these symbols. This is one of my favorites, Eternal Spiritual Cleanse. So it's such a beautiful kind of energy to work with. Yeah, so each student will get something different from the symbol. Might be asked to draw it differently, might be asked to connect with it differently, or use it differently without the client's body. Yeah, so there's so many fantastic symbols. So I didn't always used to show the symbols. I used to always keep them private, but I think these days it's important to kind of show what I'm talking about when it comes to Violet Flame Reiki, because it's not like any other Reiki system. And I do work with lots of different Reiki systems as well, but this one is still my favorite. And this one is championed by Saint Germain, but it was originally channeled by the goddess Guan Yin. Okay, so it was originally channeled by Ivy Moore in the year 2000, and she was doing her rosary and her mantras to Guan Yin, just asking for a way to level up her Reiki as a Reiki master. And what happened was she downloaded the Violet Flame Reiki modality. The full system came in like 2 or 3 sessions, and she divided it up into 4 levels. However, when I originally did it, I just did it as one big level. It was like, here you go, here's 40 symbols, go figure them out. So Violet Flame Reiki is very creative, and you'll see a lot of stuff, like even my website talks about Violet Flame Guardian, and I think this is the evolution of the Violet Flame Reiki system itself. When you start working with the many flames, and I've got a Violet Flame chakra, I've got an additional energy center that's been installed here. I work with the Violet Flame Rescue Flames, which are many different colours inside, multi-dimensional flames that I can call through. And that's one of the reasons why my clairvoyance upgraded a lot in the last 2 years as well. So anyway, that's a lot of information. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments for me, because I'm going to be finishing in a sec. If you'd like a card, let me know and I will pull a card just for you. If you'd like to book in with me and go deeper, you can do that at AnchorHaven.co.uk. I've got sessions which are less than $50. So yeah, just send me a message on an email, or connect with me on WhatsApp or Instagram, Substack, Facebook, and all the usual services. So you will see me around. I'm hoping to do more podcasts as well. So if you'd like me to be a guest on your podcast, talking about whatever, let me know. I am a member of the Human Council of Sovereignty. And I do have aspects of myself that are on different councils as well, like on Venus and things like that. So yeah, I'm trying to tune into those things a little bit more now to see if I can anchor some of that information here and, you know, and step up a little bit more. So I've been camouflaged for quite a long time, and I'm coming forward now to support people, because my personal mission is to help you with your ascension process. So there's absolutely nothing that you can say to me that will sound unusual. If you're newly awakened, I act as a guide to support you, to get you onto your own mystical wellness pathway, so we can figure out what works for you. I do breakthrough work, I do making sense work, and I do Akashic record healing and alchemy. So I try to keep things as regular worded as I possibly can, and to be that anchor, to be kind of grounded enough to not go off into the cosmos with my wording. I try to make it real. Okay, so this is me, and if you want to work with me, just please send me a message on my website, anchorhaven.co.uk. So take care, everybody. I'm gonna figure out how to end this stream now. Thanks very much.